Nothing big is happening. I know that's a strange way to start an AI video, but I need you to hear it because everything else you're reading right now is trying to convince you otherwise. A few weeks ago, an essay went viral on X called "Something Big is Happening," written by an AI startup entrepreneur. It crossed over from tech culture into the real world, and millions of people read it, and then walked away genuinely anxious about their futures. The problem is most of what's in this essay is either misleading, missing critical context, or flat out wrong. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the article, show you exactly where it falls apart, and more importantly, show you the playbook behind it so you can spot this pattern in every piece of AI news you see from now on. Let's get into it. So again, the essay is called "Something Big is Happening," and it's written by a guy named Matt Schumer, who runs an AI startup and invests in AI companies. And that detail is important, and I'll come back to it. As I said, the essay went massively viral, and it crossed out of the tech bubble into group chats and family text threads. People who have never thought about AI were suddenly reading this and feeling like they were behind. I mean, just this whole intro alone is just a giant hook meant to draw you in. It's basically hook maxing. I mean, look at this line. I think we're in the "this seems overblown" phase of something much, much bigger than COVID. But you haven't heard that word in a while. And there's a whole fear-mongering rhetoric around this. Like, look at this line. I keep giving them the polite version, the cocktail party version, because the honest version sounds like I've lost my mind. Now, I do encourage you to go and read this at some point, but you should notice what he's doing here. The entire introduction to this essay, and there is zero information in it. No data, no evidence, no claim you can actually evaluate. It's pure emotional framing designed to make you feel like your worst suspicions are being confirmed by someone on the inside. I mean, honestly, this intro could be summed up by saying, I know something terrifying and I've been holding it back to protect you. That's not journalism or analysis, it's just a setup. And this first pattern to watch out for is something I talk about a lot in my AI mentorship, the difference between AI content that's designed to inform you and AI content that's designed to make you feel something. And that something is usually anxiety when it comes to the news and essays like this. So once you start noticing that pattern and see the difference, you can't unsee it. Okay, let's look more into what he actually claims. Okay, so here's where it gets interesting because the essay does source its claims. It has quotes, it has data, it has real names, which is exactly what makes it dangerous because every single claim has a grain of truth, but the full picture tells a completely different story. His first claim is that AI progress is accelerating exponentially. Like, look at this line. Then in 2025, new techniques for building these models unlocked a much faster pace of progress. And then it got even faster, and then faster again. So this is basically the opposite of what actually happened. Ilya Sutskever, one of the people who literally built this technology, the co-founder of OpenAI, stood up at the biggest AI research conference in the world and said, the age of scaling is over. His exact framing was that internet data is the fossil fuel of AI, and we've hit peak data. For example, ChatGPT-5 showed a 0.3% improvement over GPT-4 on the most widely cited benchmark despite an $8 billion training budget, and it actually used less computing power to train than its predecessor, which reverses years of exponential scaling. And then what did the AI companies do? Well, they shifted to a backup plan, post-training techniques, fine-tuning for specific narrow tasks, things that work well for coding and math because those have clear right or wrong answers. And yes, it's real progress, but it's narrow and incremental. It is not faster and then faster again, and then each new model wasn't just better than the last. It was better by a wide margin, and the time between new model releases was shorter. I mean, hey, if you're watching Claude, at least he got the model release part correct. But in terms of the quality differences of these models, it's actually a slowdown that just forced a strategic pivot. But that's not even close to the wildest claim. The next one is the one that really made the rounds. His second claim is that AI is now building the next AI. I mean, look at this. He even quoted OpenAI. GPT 5.3 Codex is our first model that was instrumental in creating itself. The Codex team used early versions to debug its own training, manage its own deployment, and diagnose test results and evaluations. Well, the good news is that that quote is real. It comes directly from OpenAI's blog post, and Matt Schumer presents it like it's proof that recursive self-improvement has begun. The AI is now making itself smarter in a loop. But here's what he didn't mention. The bad news. On the same day OpenAI published that blog post, they also published a 30-page system card, which is basically a safety evaluation document. And in that document, under the section literally titled AI Self-Improvement, it says, the model does not reach high capability on self-improvement. The same company that said This model helped build itself, simultaneously publish an evaluation saying it can't do that. What actually happened is that human engineers used an early version of the model as a coding assistant while they were building the final version. That's it, which is the same thing millions of developers do every day with Claude Code or Cursor. There's no autonomous loop. There's no recursive intelligence explosion. The company's own safety documentation says so. All right, one more. And this is one that probably scared people the most. His third claim is basically that half of all white-collar jobs are about to disappear. He says, Dario Amodei, who is probably the most safety-focused CEO in the AI industry, has publicly predicted that AI will eliminate 50% of entry-level white-collar jobs within 1 to 5 years, which sounds legit and true and freaks you out. And he proceeds to go over different jobs and how AI does it better and will replace them. But there's two things happening here. First, Amodei did say this, but the full quote was framed as a warning about what could happen without intervention, not a confident prediction of what will happen. And Matt Schumer, like many others, stripped the conditional language and presented it as a forecast. Second, look at how Schumer frames Amodei, probably the most safety-focused CEO in the AI industry. Yeah, that's editorial framing designed to make the 50% number feel more credible. It's like saying, even the careful, cautious guy is saying this, so it must be real. But Amodei is the CEO of a company selling AI subscriptions. He has a direct financial incentive for you to believe AI is that powerful. Do not forget that. And meanwhile, actual employment data shows that white-collar jobs have grown by 3 million since 2022, which is when the AI race kicked off, by the way. And even though it is more hype and fear-mongering, at least he gives some good tips about actually using these tools, paying for one, at least the $20 a month one, taking the time to actually get skilled with them, not assuming you can't do something just because it seems too hard. But, he goes right back to the hype language, like this might be the most important year of your career, work accordingly. And get your financial house in order. And just back to all the hype crap. Hey, but listen, I'm not picking on Matt Schumer specifically. He's just one essay of thousands like it. And this matters because every single one of these essays or articles follows the same playbook. And once you see it, you'll recognize it everywhere. The playbook works like this. They take real data, strip all the caveats, wrap in emotional framing, and then present the most alarming possible interpretation as the only reasonable one. So yes, while every claim in this essay has a grain of truth, like the meter benchmarks are real, the Amodei quote is real, the OpenAI blog post is real, but the caveats, the context, the contradictions, the system card that says the opposite of the headline, all of that gets quietly removed. And what you're left with feels factual because it sources everything, but the overall picture is distorted. Let me just emphasize it one more time. Look at this. Focus here. Making AI great at coding was the strategy that unlocks everything else. That's why they did it first. No, this is the clearest example of that pattern. It sounds logical. It sounds like an insider revealing a strategy, but it's not what happened. The AI companies didn't choose to focus on coding to bootstrap recursive self-improvement. Coding is one of the only areas where the post-training techniques actually work well because code is structured and has clear right and wrong answers and provides clean feedback loops. They didn't focus on making AI great at writing code first. They were, and kind of are, just stuck on coding because everything else is a bit harder than expected. And multiple credible voices agree with me. You've got Cal Newport from Georgetown to Andre Karpathy, an OpenAI co-founder. They have said this exactly. All right, so here's an angle I think matters most for anyone watching this. Remember at the beginning, I said Matt Schumer runs an AI startup and invests in AI companies. Well, keep in mind, him, like Amodei, are CEOs using AI in the AI space. So when a CEO tells you their product or AI overall is the most powerful thing ever created, your next question should not be, wow, really? Your next question should be, how are you planning to pay for it? Because on top of all of this, OpenAI spends, as of now, about $1.69 for every single dollar it earns. They project $74 billion in operating losses in 2028 alone. Those are not financials of a company that has solved an economic problem. These are the financials of a company making an enormous bet that hasn't paid off yet, and we are not sure if it ever will. So that doesn't mean AI is useless. It just means that you should follow the money before you follow the fear. So let me be honest about what is actually going on, because I'm not a skeptic. I use these tools every single day. I've already written more prompts and used these LLMs more than probably most people ever will. Ever will? Maybe that's a bit bold, but I'm experienced. And the conclusion I've come to is that AI is genuinely useful. It's a real tool that does save real time, especially for coding, writing, research, structured tasks, video editing, and it's worth learning how to use it well. But the everything changes in 18 months and half of all jobs disappear, like what this part at the end is kind of pointing to, that kind of narrative is not supported by actual evidence. And I was bought into the AI hype myself. I was believing all the bullshit until I backed up and started thinking for myself and looking at the evidence and reality for what it is, not what X tells me it is. So the honest story is narrower, more incremental, and honestly more interesting than the sci-fi version. It's just coding agents got good at coding, that is a real thing, and general AI agents that were apparently supposed to join the workforce in 2025, that didn't happen. Yeah, they're rolling out now and getting decent, but what about all the people that said that would happen last year? That prediction, like many others, failed, and almost nobody went back and covered that part of the story. So AI 2027 being AGI and eventually the end of your work, again, is BS. That being said, the best thing you can do right now is learn the tools, ignore the noise, and stop letting people with financial incentives set your emotional thermostat about technology. Okay, one thing I want you to take away from this video is that the next time you read an AI headline that makes your stomach drop, I want you to ask two simple questions. Who wrote this? And what do they sell? That filter alone will save you from 90% of the anxiety that AI news is designed to create. Okay, if you want to actually get good at AI instead of just being scared of it, and you want someone who filters the AI hype from reality, then my AI mentorship is exactly that. It's a community where we focus on what works, not what's trending, and getting you actually skilled with your preferred LLM. So the link for that is in the description, along with 2 free resources, so 30 days, 30 AI insights, and the AI Mentor Mode Blueprint. There's also a free prompt down there that ties into everything we talked about today that you can take and just plug and play with. Thanks for your time. Check out what YouTube thinks you should watch next right here. I'll see you lovely people in the next one.